we have the opportunity to make a statement tomorrow, and I think we have 9 picks, and Brad is going to finagle something. He's finagled in every single draft. He has not stayed put, and his best work to me was the first year. And I say that because the first year we had leftovers from Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia left us with 5 draft picks. We lost one for trading for Everson Griffin in the fall of 2020, which I knew was a desperation move because Matt Patricia knew he was gone. He knew he was getting fired, so he pulled the trigger for Everson Griffin, and it cost them a 5th round or 6th round pick. So Brad Holmes has the most capital I believe he's had. He's got 9 picks. We had 8. We traded. Jeff Okudah got an extra 5th round pick. All right. I see you. Appreciate the dono. So now no one knows what this guy's going to do. But I assure you, based on his past work, he's going to trade somewhere in his draft. He could trade multiple times in this draft. I think he did. He traded. That's how we got Amon-Ra St. Brown was a trade. That's how we got Jamison Williams. Then he traded again later on. And Chase Lucas was part of that trade as well, our 7th round pick. All right? Now, Dern is going to love this. No one knows what the Detroit Lions are going to do. That is fact. Should the Detroit Lions take a quarterback at pick number 6? Now, Peter King, we discussed earlier, said that C.J. Stroud is not a lock to be in the top 7, which means that he's not going to go 1 through 5. He would be there at 6. Are you of the mindset that if C.J. Stroud is there at number 6, the Detroit Lions should take him? That is the question. Now, while you ponder that question, I want you to listen to something from NFL Network about kind of them Detroit Lions, man. What are we talking about now?
Well, the allure of what the Lions can do at 6 and 18 is it's a total toss-up. The Lions don't feel like they're pressured to take any one set position player. Even general manager Brad Holmes says he doesn't take a depth chart into the draft room with him. But one trend I was told to look for is teams taking a position player purely on the fact that he could be just that good, not necessarily one of the team's needs. So, for example, could the Lions be taking one of the top 4 QB options with that number 6 pick, even though they do feel really comfortable with Jared Goff and Nate Sudfeld? Holmes mentioned the team does want to have a 3rd quarterback on their roster come training camp. So the question is, will that 3rd QB be joining the Lions here in Detroit this weekend, or once the dust settles, will they bring a guy in later?
Well, Sherry,
all I want to know, was that her hair? That man, Cherie Burris, man, she had the locks flowing. That's crazy. Shout out to Cherie. Man, but listen, they said Brad Holmes, we heard Brad Holmes say that exact same thing. It doesn't matter if it's a position of need. If we think he's the best player, we going to take him. Aaron, what you mean, bro? What you mean? All I got to say is forever my lady. Man, I love the long hair, man. That's all I'm saying. So my thing is this. What should the Detroit Lions do? If C.J. Stroud is sitting there at pick 6, do you want the Detroit Lions to take him? So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that I do not want that to happen. Okay? I don't want to see a quarterback in the 1st round. I believe in Jared Goff. Remember Deion Sanders used to say, I believe in Eli on NFL Network. I believe in Jared Goff. I believe that Jared Goff, we can win with him if you put the proper team around him. And I think that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are doing just that. And Chris Spielman, Sheila Hemp, getting out the way, letting these knowledgeable professionals work. So for me, the answer is no. But what do you feel? Kid Rapper says to the no. Anthony says H to the is O. Hutton says, if Stroud falls to 6, trade out for a 2024 first-round pick. Well, that depends on how far you coming up. If you trying to come up 20 spots, you're going to have to give me more than that. Shake and Bake says, okay. OSU QBs always underachieve. RG says, I think after having a horrible defense last year, we need to draft defense. Goff is good enough for us to win. And that's what I feel. And here's my thought. And I was talking to Dern about this, who's very high on taking C.J. Stroud if he's there. Will Anderson would be choice 1. C.J. Stroud would be choice 2. But I told him the same thing. If you pair up, if you look at Hutch, 9.5 sacks. Yeah, he went missing a couple games, but he was always the impact. He might not have got a sack, but he got him when it counted, right? Could you imagine the impact that a Will Anderson Jr. would make at pick 6? They ain't going to know where it's coming from. And let's not forget about James Houston. Let's not forget about Josh Pascal, who should be healthy. He was getting to the quarterback too. Okay? So I think that you have to prioritize a player that can make an immediate impact over a player that is for the future who won't do anything this year. However, that does not mean that Brad Holmes still doesn't have a job to do, and that job is to secure us a backup quarterback because Nate Sudfeld is not it. None of you want to see him play. Trust me. Single Dad says, what if Stroud is, by chance, BPA? Wouldn't we want BPA? Now, I know BPA is very huge in a lot of draft situations. I'm the dude that I'm trying to trade back because this is what I think Brad Holmes is thinking, okay? Brad Holmes is saying, we almost there, okay? Now, Jared Goff has 2 years on his deal. And if the Detroit Lions do not get a early quarterback and they settle for, let's say, a Dorian Thompson-Robinson or something like that, so a 4th, 5th, 6th rounder, undrafted, Max Duggan, Stetson Bennett, just hypothetically, right? That guy might not be the future. So next year, Jared Goff is on his last year. Will he get extended before the draft? Probably not, because we'll probably show our hand. So we won't see that. But even if he does get extended, that would be a great time to draft a quarterback. And I want to see a quarterback sit behind JG, something we never saw when Matthew Stafford was here. I would take Anderson for sure if he's there. Hooker should be available in the second round. See, for me, Hooker is already 26 years old. It's Hendon Hooker, the future. The only difference between him and JG when it comes to the age difference, really, in my eyes, is the contract. Hendon will be on a rookie contract, and Jared will be trying to get the bag. We are good at DE. No to Will Anderson. We need DT, but I don't. You know what? Are we good at DE? But see, here's the thing. For all the good at DEs that we were, do you know where the Detroit Lions ranked in sacks? Can anybody tell me where the Detroit Lions rank in sacks for 2022? I'll give you a hint. It was the middle of the pack. Single Dad says 15th. Okay, I got the perfect sound for that. Sam, 17. 15? Okay, one more guess. 22-13. The Detroit Lions ranked 18th, which means they were less than middle of the pack. They had 38 sacks. Hutch accounted for 9.5 of those. James Houston had, 8? Okay. Braylon with the dono. I see you, bro. But so let me know in the comments below, what if CJ Stroud is available? We're not talking about Bryce or anybody else. Stroud, if he's available at 4, would you want the Lions to take him or not take him? Let me know.